As the Joker war rolls on, Bruce Wayne will not only have to battle his oldest foe, but his own deteriorating mental state. All this and more on the pages of Batman number 96. Let's hop on in together and find out what happens next, shall we? Oh, well, it wasn't this interesting. As this issue opens up, we're actually treated to a glimpse at what a potential bright future for Gotham City could be, right down to Batman wearing the fancy blue suit that we saw at the end of the previous issue. Now, just because everything is cleaner and sleeker like an Apple store doesn't mean all crime is defeated. Folks like Mr. Freeze are still up to his old tricks, and in fact, he's not alone now. He has two sons. And their code names are, get this, Ice Pop and Snow Cone. Oh, please let those be embarrassing pet names a father has for his kids and not their actual supervillain names. Batman makes short work of the ice-themed villains, thanks in no small part to a brand new Bat Signal app that warns people of crime around them so they can get to safety, limiting collateral damage. We also see that this older Bruce is happier than he's ever been before. He barely has to go out on patrol anymore. He has plenty of time to spend with Mrs. Wayne, aka Catwoman Selina. And it would seem that Batman and indeed the older generation of superheroes are turning the reins over to the younger generation to take their lead. Even Harper Row gets mentioned, basically being the new Leslie Tompkins now. And keeping with James Tynion mentioning all of his favorites, it seems that Tim Drake and Connor have actually come together to build even more Titans towers all over the world. And if this future seems all too good to be true, it's because it 100% is. Batman is still feeling the effects of the drug cocktail that Punchline had injected him with in the previous issue, and we discover that the only way he survived was because Harley Quinn managed to drag him away from all the commotion. We also discover that Batman has been TKO'd for about 3 days now, and in that time, the Joker and his people have pretty much taken over the entirety of the city. Using his vast new fortune, the Joker was able to buy the loyalty of every criminal and gang member in Gotham City, creating one giant Joker gang, which in turn the Clown Prince further supplemented with all of his stolen Wayne tech, meaning they have Joker cycles and Joker planes and more guns than they know what to do with. Geez, I wonder, what do you call that many clowns causing chaos at once? A gaggle, a pride, maybe a posse, an insane posse, perhaps?
ICP, Insane Clown Posse, yo.
Now, in Batman's absence, regular people have indeed rised up to try and fight back the clowns. One particularly strange young man calls himself the Clownhunter and fights with a baseball bat that also has a batarang sticking out of it. Which, isn't nearly as scary as his original weapon, a board with a nail in it. Everyone runs away from the board with a nail in it.
He's got a board with a nail in it!
But, taking over the city is the part of the Joker's plan that kinda sorta makes sense. It's the other part of what he's doing that really matches his brand of crazy. You'll recall in the last issue, he took over all the movie houses in Gotham, including the famous Monarch Theater. Well, tonight he's hosting a big re-premiere for The Mark of Zorro, the movie that Bruce Wayne and his parents saw the night they were gunned down in Crime Alley. Mr. J promises this will be a show like no other and even refers to it as the Gotham Cut. I see what you did there. Man, that might be the funniest the Joker has actually been in a long time. I hope the Clown Prince also took an extra year and $30 million of Bruce's own money to shoot a brand new ending for the movie. Now, while Batman knows full well he has to spring into action and stop whatever the Joker is doing, there's only one major problem. His body is willing, but his mind is on a complete other planet right now. Even someone like Harley can realize that he's hearing voices, in this case the voice of Alfred. But hey, when has the Dark Knight ever let something like a teeny tiny mental break ever stop him from fighting the good fight? Why, he even manages to shake off his ring rust by beating up some clowns outside. By the time Batman does make it to the Monarch Theater, walking into what is almost certainly a trap, he can't be certain if the Joker spent enough money to actually make the theater look like the night his parents died, or if his mind has decayed so much he just sees it that way. Poor Bruce is also overcome by the stifling smell of death at this theater. It seems that for an audience, the Joker has chosen to dig up all the poor civilians that have died during his battles with Batman, and that's quite a few people. If this wasn't horrifying and macabre enough, we're quickly reminded that the Joker, by using the designer's stolen tech, is actually able to reanimate these corpses into zombie soldiers. Meaning that this night just went from bad to worse for Batman in a matter of seconds, and it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close. And so that was Batman issue number 96, everybody, and I gotta say, Joker War continues to move along at a good pace. Yes, there's certainly a lot of familiar elements at play here. Batman having to stop a crime while his own mind is under the influence of horrifying drugs is very much like something from the Grant Morrison era. The Joker creating an audience out of a bunch of corpses is pretty much exactly what he did to Nightwing during Death of the Family in the New 52. And yet, good to his word, I gotta give Tynion credit for remixing it in such a way that it feels fresh and new, even though I know as a longtime comic fan it isn't exactly. Sure, Batman is hearing voices, but it's Alfred's voice he's hearing this time, which is both a hindrance but also very much what Batman needs right now to raise his spirits. The Joker has zombie tech, and the writer didn't plan to stop using it after it served its initial purpose. I am fascinated at the concept of the Clownhunter too. He's an interesting design, and his speech bubbles are different than everyone else's, which normally denote someone pretty important. Even Harley Quinn really shined in this issue too. Batman is so friendless, old foes have to actually help him along. Now, overall, I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. I found it thoroughly enjoyable, and I'm interested to see where it goes from here.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.